Hey, what's up everyone? TJ here. In this video, we're gonna be taking a look at 3D snowboard shapes. There's quite a variety out there, but I've had the chance to try pretty much every style out on snow. So today I'm gonna share my thoughts and let you know what benefits you're gonna get out of this type of snowboard design. Let's get right into it. So I'm gonna start off talking about Jones Snowboards and their 3D contouring, which is basically a 3D spoon type shape, which is exactly what it sounds like. I've got the Storm Chaser here beside me, and there's gonna be different levels of the spoon shaping. The more powder focused the board is, the more prominent that contouring is gonna be. The idea with the 3D contour from Jones is to give you better glide, reduce drag, and overall just offer a smoother experience when you're riding powder. So like I said, it's kind of a spoon shape in the nose. There's also gonna be some 3D contouring in the tail on Jones snowboards, and you're gonna find this on pretty much every snowboard in the Jones line. And what that's gonna do is help snow flow out the sides from the nose as you're going through powder rather than piling up towards your front leg. That's gonna help to reduce drag. And with the 3D contouring in the tail, same idea, just helping that snow escape out from under the board more smoothly and just overall allowing you to move more efficiently through powder and through soft snow. Another bonus with this spoon shaping is you're gonna notice it when you're making turns or carving. It does give more of a feeling like you're rolling from edge to edge and just offers a smoother edge to edge transition. And particularly on hard pack, when you're carving boards that are wider, like the Storm Chaser here, it's gonna give you smoother turn initiation, and it's gonna make it easier to get that board up on edge, which can sometimes be a little bit difficult with these really wide boards. So overall, the 3D contouring, the spoon shaping is more powder focused, but it's something that you're gonna notice on hard pack as well. All right, the next one I wanna talk about is uprise fenders from Arbor. So this is gonna be a much more subtle 3D shape, and you're only gonna find it on the camber snowboards from Arbor. So Arbor, all their boards are either full positive camber or full rocker. They don't make any hybrid shapes anymore. And you're gonna find the uprise fenders on the camber shapes. So what it is a slight lifting of the base and edge right at the contact points, which is the widest point on the nose and tail here. It's where you get most of your control, but it's also where oftentimes you're gonna catch your edge if you're not careful. So by lifting up that base and edge just a little bit, it allows you to still get that full camber feel, that powerful camber feel that you want, but it's just not as hooky and not as catchy. So one of my favorites, definitely more subtle, but super noticeable, and I think a really good 3D shape to be aware of. The most well-known style of 3D shaping might just be 3BT from Battalion. They include this on every one of their snowboards, and I think it offers a lot of benefits. So the idea with 3BT is the board is actually flat through the center of the board from the tip of the tail. They call this the center base. And then on the sides, on the four corners of the board, the base and the edge is actually beveled and lifted up. There's different variations of 3BT depending on the board that you get from them. And basically the wider the center base, the less uplift you're gonna get, and the more narrow the center base, the more uplift you're gonna get. So the more powder oriented or free ride oriented the board, usually the more 3BT you're gonna find on it, or the more prominent shaped 3BT. In powder, the benefit you're gonna get is similar to the Jones spoon shaping. So it's gonna help funnel snow out the sides of the snowboard, allowing you to move a little more efficiently through powder and soft snow, but it's also a huge benefit on hard pack. It's gonna give you a different feeling as you're carving and transitioning from heel to toe. It really does feel like you're rolling from edge to edge and give a really smooth transition. And it also does a great job of making sure you're not catching your edge. So they also include what they call side kick. So right at the contact points here, it's even spooned up just a little bit more to help make sure you really don't catch your edge. I think that's super handy for butters particularly. It also helps on rails. And my favorite benefit with 3BT is actually on jumps. So if you make a mistake and say you pre-spin a little bit or something like that, it's gonna help to make sure you're not catching your edges, you're coming off the lip of the jump to avoid what could potentially be a pretty bad crash. I'm a fan. 3BT's been around for a long time. It's very functional. It offers a lot of benefits. And if you ever get the chance to try out a board with 3BT, which you'll find on Battalion and Lobster snowboards, I definitely suggest that you give it a try and see what it feels like, see if that's something that you'd be interested in. There's a smaller brand called Marhar that actually created their own variation of 3D shaping, and they call it Sideways Rocker. It's exactly what it sounds like, and it's a real subtle rocker shape from heel to toe. And the benefit that you get from that is just a bit smoother edge to edge transition, and it literally does feel like you're rocking from heel to toe. It has a really cool feel to it. It's noticeable in powder, it's noticeable on hard pack, and it is pretty subtle, but it is noticeable. And one of the variations I wanted to call out in this video, only gonna be found on Marhar snowboards. Burton also introduced a 3D shape to their line last season on the Kilroy 3D, and their take on it was kind of a combination between Battalion and Arbor. So the reason I say that is that when you look at it, you can see that crease in the nose and tail like you would see on a Battalion snowboard where it uplifts on the sides, but it only runs just past the contact points, similar to Arbor, whereas Battalion, that uplift is gonna run significantly past the contact points, kind of getting close to the insert pack. So it's like a bit of a shorter version, but it does go past the contact points, so it is functional. It's gonna help you prevent catching your edges, and since you do have that uplift on the nose and tail as well, that can be pretty fun if you're trying to do butters, nose rolls, things like that. Any situation where you're gonna be dragging the nose of the snowboard on the snow, gonna help to make it a little bit less catchy. Burton's gonna be introducing some new 3D shapes to their line for 2021 as part of the Family Tree series. It's gonna be more powder oriented, but they took a really unique approach to it. It has a crazy look, and I'm looking forward to trying those out later this season. Yes, Snowboards also has a cool take on 3D shaping. They call it the powder hull, and you're gonna find it on the Yes 420 powder hull and the 2020. And it's basically a convex pocket on the nose and tail of the snowboard. And the idea with that is to funnel snow up into that convex pocket and generate more float and powder. I was able to try the 2020 earlier this year out in Japan. It was one of the deepest days of the whole trip, and I was really surprised at how functional it was. It really does offer more float, especially considering the 2020 is a true twin snowboard. I thought that offered a really cool feel. They have changed it a little bit now, so rather than that convex pocket going all the way out to the tip, like I'm showing you here, they added a little bit more core going all the way around the tip of the tail and the nose of the snowboard to help give the board a little bit more pop and stability when you're on hard pack, rather than having that pocket extend all the way out to the end of the snowboard. But it is one of the most unique 3D shapes out there, and it actually is really functional. Most of this type of shaping is going to be some style of 3D contouring of the base of the snowboard that's going to affect the way the board interacts with the snow as you're riding. But Capita actually introduced a 3D core profiling last season with the Super DOA. So with this board, they milled out the core where it was thicker in some places. They put some channels in it as well, particularly thicker between the bindings, and then it kind of tapers off as you go into the nose of the snowboard. And what this does is actually give the board kind of a progressive flex, which I think is really awesome and makes the board a little bit more versatile, because you still get that sturdy stability between the feet and a little bit more flex in the tips. I have a full review on that board if you want to check it out, but I did want to include that in this video because it's a different type of 3D shaping. All right, so there's an overview of most of the styles you're gonna find out there as you're looking at snowboards. If you wanna check any of these out in more detail, I'll have them all linked down in the description below. If you've had a chance to try any of these or you feel like I left anything out, let me know down in the comments. And please make sure to like the video if you got some value. Subscribe to the channel. I really appreciate it, guys, and I will see you in a new one soon.